Hi everyone, my name is Matt Dozier with the U.S. Department of Energy, and we are here in Denver, Colorado for Solar Decathlon 2017. It's a competition which challenges student teams from around the world to design and build solar-powered houses. This solar-powered house is the beach house from Embry-Riddle University and Daytona State College in Florida. We're here on a bright sunny day. We had some snow yesterday. You can probably see some remnants of it on the ground. So we're going to go inside, take a look at this incredible house, and see how the folks from Florida are coping with the Denver weather. So follow me and we'll head inside. So all of these houses in this solar village here in Denver, Colorado are powered by solar panels or solar thermal systems, and they're all packed with energy efficient innovations. So it's more than just about solar power. It's about designing the most energy efficient, cost effective, attractive house you can. So we're going to go inside and meet some of the folks from Embry-Riddle and Daytona State College and have them tell us a little bit about their house. Hello. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Natalie Hahn. I'm from Team Daytona Beach.
All right, terrific. So we'll step inside here. Don't want to let too much of the chilly air in. It's been a little bit of a chilly day, a couple of days, I guess. So how are you holding up with the sort of wintry weather here?
I'm actually doing just fine. I'm originally from Ohio, so this is my first time seeing snow in like 3 years. But we do have some team members who have lived in Florida their entire lives, so they're not doing the best, but they're adjusting really quickly, and they had a blast yesterday seeing snow for the first time. So.
All right, so you're hanging in there. Tell us a little bit about your house. So this is Beach House, right?
Yeah, so BEACH is actually an acronym for Building Efficient, Affordable, and Comfortable Homes, and this is our first submission into the Solar Decathlon, so we're very happy to be here, despite some of the struggles that you might have heard about with the hurricanes. But we're here, we have a home, not a construction site, so we're extremely excited. So this is our layout. You'll see that you have a pretty large dining area and living area, which my team members are currently chilling on our really comfortable furniture. As you continue to walk this way, you'll see that we have an extremely large kitchen. We really wanted to make the kitchen the heart of the home, so we went ahead and put this massive island in here that features all of our Beko and Blomberg appliances. We do have 100% recycled quartz, mirror, and glass countertops, which we're very, very thankful to have. We have, these are by Constantino. We have Omega Cabinetry, which we're extremely excited about. Our interior designer absolutely adores these cabinets, so that's really lucky.
They're very nice.
As we keep going, you'll see we do have really wide walkways and we have really wide door frames. The house is almost 100% ADA compliant. We do have a target audience of empty nesters and retirees in Florida, since the senior demographic is growing at a pretty steady rate. Sure. So we wanted to really build a house that kind of catered to that population. So we do have almost 100% ADA compliancy in the house.
And this is good. We can stand side by side. You can see how wide these walkways are.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about sort of energy efficiency is a big part of the competition, right?
Yeah.
So tell us what kind of innovations that you have that are helping with the energy efficiency of this home.
So the energy efficiency, at least in the kitchen, really comes from our appliances. We're very, very lucky that all of our appliances are energy and water efficient. Like I said earlier, they are Beko and Blomberg, so we're very fortunate for that. But even things like our faucet are water efficient. So we really tried to focus on items that the homeowner was going to use every single day and really tried to make those efficient. We also, of course, have all LED light bulbs to really help with the energy efficiency there as well. So I would say, at least in the kitchen, those are our main energy efficient means.
Sure. Okay, shall we move on?
Sure. So as you keep walking, you will see that we have a pretty large bathroom. Unfortunately not finished thanks to the hurricane, but it is almost 100% fully ADA compliant like the rest of the house. Pretty large, but it also helps to kind of separate the two private bedrooms so that you have more of a chance to kind of relax by yourself, because the kitchen, the living, and the dining space is definitely more of a public space. It's very open, it's very inviting, so it definitely is nice to kind of have these bedrooms on each side divided by these bathrooms. The bathroom is fully accessible through the door frames of each, through the doors of each bedroom, but it gives it that nice you have your own personal space,
Absolutely.
which I like in the house despite it's really, really bright and open, which is great for entertaining and having people over, but you do have that private feeling back here as well.
Sometimes it's nice to have a little retreat, right?
Yeah, exactly. And thankfully, the beach house does have 2 bedrooms, which we're really thankful we were able to get. So over here is our guest bedroom. It's a little bit smaller, but it is just a guest bedroom. But definitely something that if you're an empty nester, you can have your child come back over and stay for a while. Or if you're a retiree, you can have some friends come over and stay. You can probably put a little bit larger of a bed in here, but for right now, this works out really, really nicely for us.
Right. And so for those of you who are just joining us, we're here at Solar Decathlon 2017 in Denver, Colorado. We're here with the folks from Florida. So it's Daytona State College and Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Which school are you at?
I'm from Embry-Riddle. I'm an aerospace engineer.
All right, aerospace engineer. And so
Yeah.
how did you get into home building?
So actually, I am the public relations individual on our team, and I had a professor who was actually my speech professor. She really liked me and was like, I think you would do really great things for this team. Why don't you talk to our leads? So the next semester, I came and I talked to our leads, Sandra Betcher and Jenna Beckwith, and they were very excited to welcome me on. And so I started in that communications role, and then as the hurricane hit, we needed more people to help build. Suddenly, I became more of a handyman than I thought I was going to be. I learned how to hang drywall and do all sorts of things, and the team was great about teaching me new skills that I didn't have before because I had no construction experience before.
Right. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about these obstacles that you face. So I think, obviously there was a few teams that had some, I think, hiccups, some bumps in the road on the way here because these teams have to design and build their houses, usually at the universities where they're located, then break them down, or transport them in fully intact across the country, sometimes across the Atlantic Ocean to get here in Denver, Colorado. So what were some of the obstacles that you guys faced in your journey here?
So natural disasters are the number one obstacle we faced. So it all started with Hurricane Harvey, actually, which hit Houston, Texas. The countertops you see featured in our house are actually from Houston, Texas, and ended up being stuck in Houston as Harvey hit, and we weren't able to get them on time. By the time they got to Florida, it was the day before or the day of Hurricane Irma hitting. So they had no power to cut the countertops, and thankfully the company who actually cut the countertops for us did it without electricity entirely. So Hurricane Harvey was the first obstacle, then as I mentioned, Hurricane Irma. So the house itself actually withstood the hurricane. We're very, very proud of that fact since we are a Floridian home. The only thing is we were in the middle of construction, so we did have some minor water damage, but the worst damage actually came to our timeline. We lost about 10 days of crucial construction time, about a week and a half before we shipped down here. So we got pushed really far back, and so we tried really hard to get things back on pace, and then when we shipped it, unfortunately there were some damages that occurred during shipping. It's very hard to transport 3 sections of a house from Florida to Denver. It's a little bit of a journey, and unfortunately storms, once again, were kind of our enemy there. So the house did have quite a bit of damage when it got here.
Right. Okay, so let's move back out of the bedroom just to kind of keep the tour going. But so I think once you got here, also after going through the storms, after going through everything that you faced, it was also pretty rough conditions once you finally got to the site, right?
Yeah, so I personally was not here, but some of our team members were. And so when I did get to Denver, they were like, you wouldn't believe what we went through. It was raining the entire time. It was on the colder side. We have 4 inch of mud on our boots. So it was a little rough because, the house actually divides up into 3 sections. So we're standing in the first section, which is our private section. The kitchen is our second section, and then that public living and dining space is our third. And then the roof actually has to come off as well. So when we got here, everything was detached, and it's pouring down rain. So it was a little hard to try to get all those pieces back together while it's raining and muddy, and even today you can look outside and see just how horrible the mud is. So it's been a bit of a trial, but the people who are here originally did a great job of getting the house together, and thankfully we had some help from our neighboring decathletes. specifically Missouri S&T and Alabama did an amazing job of helping us out. And then, of course, all the teams came together to help us as well. For example, with the countertop, this piece is over 1,200 pounds, took over 20 people to lift.
Wow.
I believe the individual who I spoke to about it said that we had at least one person from every decathlon team helping us. So the rest of the decathletes have been amazing in actually helping us.
So you would think that, I mean, this is, you know, a tough competition. Everybody's worked for 2 years or more to get here and to compete in this competition, but there's still a really good team and spirit of cooperation, right?
Yeah. So, and that's something that thankfully we've been able to talk about with the other decathletes. Just recently we did a game night where members of teams went to other teams and we, you know, relaxed, had some food, played games, and we got to finally, you know, really sit down and talk with the other people, and they really understood the struggles we had been through. We were able to understand the struggles they went through. So I think it's this idea that, yeah, we're in a competition, but we've all spent so much time that to get here and go through some of the issues we've gone through, you know, it really hits home to them because they imagine if it had happened to them what they would feel like, and they realize we're going through the exact same thing. So it was incredible to see.
Terrific. Okay, well, let's move on and check out the other bedroom. And again, if you're just joining us, we're here at Solar Decathlon 2017 in Denver, Colorado. This is the beach house from Team Daytona Beach. And if you have questions about the house, about the competition, ask them in the chat. We're happy to answer them. Love to hear from you. Tell us where you're watching from. We'll give you a shout out. So so we're in the master bedroom. Is that right?
So this is our master bedroom. You will notice we have a lot of natural light coming in here. There originally was supposed to be a 400 square foot deck out back. Issues with the hurricane and construction timelines actually made it so that we didn't end up having that deck, but we do have these really nice bright and open French doors. All the doors, actually, I can show you if you'd like. All the doors and windows are impact proof up to 140 miles per hour.
Are you going to demonstrate that?
No, I wish I could demonstrate the 140 miles per hour, but what I am going to show you is that they have these special locks here, and you'll see they kind of flip up and flip down. So what you do is you pull them shut, and you lock them in, you pull it, you shut it again, and this helps during a hurricane. They won't open. Everything stays shut in the house. And that, of course, is a feature on all of our windows. They do feature those hurricane locks. Like I said, impact proof up to 140 miles per hour. Double pane, double laminated, argon gas filled. They're incredible windows and doors. We're very fortunate to have them. And they do help a lot with heat transfer. So in Florida, it can get extremely, extremely hot. And you don't want that heat filtering into your house. So these doors and windows will actually help prevent all that extra heat from coming in.
Terrific. So it's a protection from both, you know, the elements and you know, helping the house conserve energy, right?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely makes it so that when you set a temperature and humidity level in the house, it actually stays there. You're not going to lose it, which is a really huge feature for us in Florida.
All right, terrific.
Yeah,
go
as
ahead.
you keep going, you'll see that we actually have our washer and dryer directly off unit. It's really, really important, at least in my mind, that you have the washer and dryer in some place that's easily accessible, especially when our target demographic is those retirees and possibly older senior citizens. So we're very, very thankful to have Beko and Blomberg appliances once again right off the master bedroom.
Right, and so they make you actually do laundry, right, here?
Yeah, so that's actually why the towels are on the top of the washer. So during the day, before tours, we actually have these things called judge competitions. And we have to complete various tasks that the Solar Decathlon then judges us on, and it kind of shows how well our house is operating and how well we can actually live in the house. So actually starting at 1 p.m., what we're going to do is we weigh those 6 towels. We get the initial weight, we throw them in the washer, we throw them in the dryer, and then when they come out, they have to be at a smaller weight than what they went in at, and it really shows the efficiency of how well our washer and dryer are actually doing.
Great. It looks like we have a question.
Yes, this one's from Stephanie. Where was Team Daytona Beach's inspiration from?
Yeah, where was Team Daytona Beach's inspiration from? Asks Stephanie.
So we actually have two different places that our inspiration comes from. The first is the rejuvenation of Daytona Beach. So we are actually known as the world's most famous beach, and we're definitely a tourist attraction. So it's really, really hard when you have an economic recession because it hits tourism economies especially hard. And this was definitely the case for Daytona Beach, especially with the aging infrastructure. So we decided that we saw all this wonderful rejuvenation happening in Daytona Beach. They actually just did a $400 million re-imaging of Daytona International Speedway. And they're in the process of doing a multi-million-dollar rejuvenation of the historic waterway. So we really wanted to show that, our city is bouncing back, and this is just one of the ways that you can do it is with this amazing passive technology. Our second inspiration is actually from Key West, Florida. So our project lead went down there and saw the iconic Hemingway house that Ernest Hemingway actually lived in. And she loved some of the Spanish colonial architecture, and she said, okay, I think, these houses have lived for decades upon decades and have gone through storm after storm and have not been destroyed, which is, as you know, in Florida, a pretty big deal. Yeah. So, for example, Hurricane Irma only took out 25% of Key West homes, and that was a Category 5. Yeah. So these houses are very, very sturdy. And she really wanted to bring back that style and the sturdiness into our home, so that was our second source of inspiration.
Terrific. Thanks for the question. Should we move back out into the
sure.
main open area here? It's just such a nice space. It's really, really, there's tons of light, as everybody can see, and, it's nice and open. So you said that, this is designed to be ADA accessible, ADA compliant, and also just big, nice and airy. And you said there would normally be a deck on the back?
So there would actually be a 400 square foot deck which would span the width of the house. And it would also feature a hydroponic garden, was originally in the plans as well.
Okay, terrific. Okay, so is there anything else we should know about this space, or anything else you want to show us?
Yeah, so you mentioned how bright and open it was and how airy. So the house itself is actually only 950 square feet. And it actually feels a lot larger than that. Mm-hmm. And that happens to be due to the vaulted ceilings we have and those wonderful clerestory windows. So that really helps bring in that natural daylighting. So as you'll see, the light actually is reflecting off of these walls. And it helps really give the home a nice, bright, airy feeling. The clerestory windows were also originally supposed to be automated to help with controlling the humidity and the temperature of the house itself.
Terrific. Yeah. So, and, if you're just joining us, again, we're here in Solar Decathlon 2017, touring the beach house from Team Daytona. These folks had a couple rough bumps in the road on the way here to Denver, Colorado. A couple of hurricanes, other storms and weather events. So they were a little bit delayed in their construction. And time is very precious in this competition, right?
Yeah, especially when you've been working as long as, for example, our team lead has. She told me she's been working on this for over 3 years. I've personally only been involved with the project for a little over a year, but I can't imagine spending 3 years on it and then having all of these natural disasters and issues pop up that you don't plan for. We're all engineers. We're very type A personalities. We plan for every last detail that we can, and having something like a natural disaster that you can't really 100% plan for is very uncertain is a really hard situation to deal with.
Right, absolutely. Well, is there any other things you wanted to cover out here, or have we covered most of the stuff on the inside?
I think we've covered the majority of the stuff on the inside. We do have, like I said, some really cool products. All of the furniture is actually from Hudson's Furniture in Florida. Very, very lucky for that. And then a lot of people have been asking us about the dining room table, so I always make sure to say it. It is.
Let's take a look. Yeah. Let's go over here and take a look at it. So yeah, it's very, very cool looking. So tell us what the story is behind this table.
Yeah, so this is actually a piece from Goodwin Lumber in Florida, and you'll notice that there's all these holes in it, right? This is actually over 100 years old. It is river reclaimed Pecky cypress wood. It was pulled from the bottom of the St. Johns River in Florida, in Gainesville, Florida, which is actually between 60 and 80 miles away from our hometown. So this is a piece that's very near and dear to our hearts, especially our team leads.
That's extremely cool. Yeah, it's a very nice finishing touch.
Yeah, I think, with all the furniture we have and all of the nice little pieces that our interior designers came up with, I think it really helps make this feel like a home and not a concept house. This is something that you're going to want to live in. And I really think that the things like the dining room table, those nice finishing touches to help it feel like that.
Sure, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for showing us the beach house. We really appreciate it. Again, this has been our latest Facebook Live house tour from Solar Decathlon 2017. I'm Matt Dozier with the U.S. Department of Energy. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions or comments, leave them in the chat, and we'll be happy to get to those afterwards. If you want to vote in the People's Choice poll for Team Daytona,
Beach, yeah.
You can go on the Solar Decathlon Facebook page and vote there. I think voting is open through the 15th. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll tune in next time for Team Alabama. And thanks for tuning in.